What's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So if you know me, I love doing my details in the engine bay, making them look even nicer than they already are. And if you go back and look at my videos from my STI, I spent a lot of time, a lot of effort making that engine bay look very, very nice. Something about, just kind of adding some details, making it look even better. I enjoy coming out here and just kind of looking at the masterpiece of the motor from the car that I have at that time. And one thing that I really like to do is add my own little touches. Now, if you don't notice, which I'm sure you may be able to, I've already added a few things. I did the carbon fiber Eventury intake, as well as the Eventury carbon engine cover. And that is it. I haven't done much yet. We have so much stuff in boxes over here, a lot of stuff over here. We still have stuff coming in, so a lot to get done. But what I want to do is add some color, a little bit of pop to this engine bay. If you can tell, it's pretty monotone with just the carbon and black, and it's pretty plain. But I want to add a little bit of an accent color to the engine bay. Obviously not overdo it. I'm not a big fan of like really big themes or doing anything too crazy, but adding a little bit of color to this is really gonna help. Now, I found a couple ways to get that done, and we're gonna do one of them tonight, and that is actually changing out the caps. Now, if you guys are familiar with my STI, you guys know that I changed out all the caps. They had the really ugly yellow. They stood out like a sore thumb. I changed over some really nice billet aluminum caps, and it really changed the overall kind of appeal to the engine bay. And if you notice, the cap set in the S55 motor is not the prettiest thing. We have the coolant tank over here. We have the oil filter. We have the oil cap, a coolant reservoir back there, also the window washer fluid. I came across a company, a lot of BMW guys use this. This is a Goldenwrench Supply, their Blackline performance line. This is their cap set. Now, if you notice over here, this one's a little bit different. This is by Future Classic. This is actually the oil filter cover. That is going to go right there. But I need to get a tool for this. I need to get a 36mm wrench, or socket, I should say. But I'm contemplating on how to do this. I don't want to get a metal 36mm socket because I don't want to damage the finish on here. So I'm curious what people do with this to make sure it gets on there nice and clean and there's no damage to it, because I have to tighten it down to 25 Newton meters, which is not tight, but I don't want to ruin the finish because that's going to be front and center. And this is a pretty expensive piece. This is around like $200 just for this one. So I wanted to kind of get some opinion on that. How do I get it done? I believe Future Classic does have a tool, but I'm not sure if it's metal. I mean, it has to be. But I wanted to ask you guys' opinion if you guys are familiar with this on how to properly get this installed without damaging it. Also, I got a new filter kit because I'm going to replace it once I do the oil filter. But this is the only one that we're not going to do tonight since I don't have the tool for that. We'll do that in another video. But let's go ahead, open up the Goldenwrench Supply cap so you can see. You obviously can tell what color I went with. But let's open these up and show you what I got. All right, so let's go ahead and start opening these up. I can show you what I got. This is the billet washer fluid cap. So if we open it, you can see just how really nice quality these things are. I already took a look, so I'm not gonna lie. Look how nice this is. I mean, the quality of this is insane. This one is a full replacement. The others are just stick on to the factory caps, but this one you actually replace. As you can see, it has a new seal on here, and it also actually includes some silicone that you can use to put around the seal so it pops in nice and it doesn't get stuck when you install that. So I'm going to put this one aside. We'll open up the others. This one is the coolant cap cover, the one that goes behind the charge cooler. So all the way back in the engine bay. If we open this up, again, same color, got the really nice blue. And there you go. I mean, the detail on this is pretty insane. I absolutely love it. The finish is beautiful. And I'm really happy with the quality of this. And as you can see, you got some 3M double-sided tape that you're going to put in there and just stick on. So it's a very, very simple install, nothing crazy or nothing over the top. Now, if we move on to the bigger ones, this one is the coolant cap cover. So this one is to the right of the engine bay on the driver's side. So if we open it up, same thing. This is a big boy. This is pretty big compared to the other ones we just saw, but super nice. I mean, again, look how nice the overall quality of this is, the etching and everything. It's just super, super nice. This one does include some 3M double-sided tape as well. And then last but not least, the billet oil cap cover. So same concept, same color, comes with some 3M double-sided tape in there. And then this same one, or same color. Obviously, this is the oil cap. that goes on the engine cover. So it's going to add some nice contrast to the really nice carbon on the Venturi engine cover. So really excited to get these installed. They add a little bit of pop to the engine bay, and it's going to add a little bit of detail to, like I said, a pretty monotone engine bay so far. If you guys know me as well, I am a huge titanium fan. I did a lot of it on my STI. It looked really good. And we're going to be doing the same thing here in the S55 and the M3 as well. So all these bolts that you see, these will all be really nice titanium. Literally, I got the entire kit for the F80 M3, so that is coming in. So I will be doing that in another video once that comes in. But let's go ahead, let's get these caps installed, and let's see what it does for the engine bay. Let's start off with a nice easy one over here. This is the washer fluid cap. So this is just a plastic cover. Now, in order to remove this cover, there's a little tab in the back. Simply just pull it off and it comes off. Now, as I mentioned, this one comes with some silicone that you can put on the gasket there. I don't really find that necessary because this is plastic, so it does kind of expand, and I think it fits fine. So I'm going to go ahead and install it without it. If I really find it necessary, I can always take it back off and put it on, but I think this is going to be just fine without it. All right, simple as that. That slipped on no problem. Didn't need any of the silicone, so I don't really think you need it. It's in there nice and tight and nice and firm, so that is not going anywhere. I mean, just look at this thing. I mean, it is pretty new for 19,000 miles that this car has, but I mean, come on. Huge difference. Looks so much better. I'm very, very happy. So let's move on. Let's just kind of move our way to the driver's side. Let's get the oil cap done right here. All right, so here is the oil cap. So let's go ahead and put the double-sided tape on. So as you can see, it comes with 3 different pieces. We're going to put one here, here, and in the handle part right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that on. So once you get the corner out, you can just peel it off like that, no problem. So I just sprayed it down with some IPA to get all the dirt off, because you want a good adhesion to the place that it is sticking, and you don't want a dirty cap underneath because it'll just come right off, and you want a nice clean surface to put the cap on. All right, so I got that all ready to go, nice and cleaned up. Now we're just going to take the cap, obviously make sure you have it the correct orientation, and slip it right on to the cap. You're just going to push down, make sure you get a nice contact with the oil cap. And you're good to go. Now let's move over to the charge cooler coolant reservoir all the way in the back. Again, comes with some 3M tape. Just going to put it in the center here. I wish it was just one piece instead of 3, but whatever, not a big deal. So let me go ahead and put that on. All right, so that is how I have it. Now I'm going to take my razor blade and just peel off the backing, and we'll be ready to go. Again, you want to make sure you wipe that down with some IPA to clean it off. So if you look in here, you can see some of the notches. It'll line up with all the notches around there. So it goes in the same orientation. So as you can see, it locks into place with the little notches inside the cap. So there we go. Now all we're going to do, stick it down. All right, now we're going to do Big Bertha over here. We're going to do the coolant cap. This one comes with a big circle double-sided tape, so much easier to install. It's not in pieces. We're going to wipe that down with IPA, and then we can put that on. All right, so same thing. It's got the notches on there, and also it has a little arrow, so you're just going to match it up with that arrow as well, and pretty simple. So let's go ahead, pop this on, line up the arrow, push it down. Alright guys, so there you have it. Super simple install. I do need to do the oil filter cover. I really wish I had the tool to do it. Although the engine is a little warm still from driving it today. So I probably would have waited anyway. So I'll probably try to get the tool and do it sometime next week. But that will really kind of tie everything in together. Now, there is a Goldenwrench Supply oil filter cap. I wasn't aware of it. I thought the only one available was the Future Classic. However, I saw that they do have one by Goldenwrench Supply. The install of that is a little bit better because the design of it, it's really nice, just like the other caps. But in the center of it, you use an Allen key, and it's metal instead of the anodized aluminum over here. so you don't scratch it up. So I thought that was smart. So I don't know, I'm kind of back and forth if I should just pick with that one up and stick with all Goldenwrench supply, or I should continue on and install this one. So I don't know, I got to do some research to see if anybody can install this or knows how to install this properly without scraping it up, because I don't want to mess it up, because it is pretty expensive to screw up and have something be right dead center in the engine bay and then have nicks all over the place. So either way, I mean, look how much better the engine bay looks just with that pop of color. Really simple. To be completely honest, I was really kind of hoping that these were full replacements instead of just stick-on caps, but I will say it does look really nice, and everything is on there nice and firm, so you can turn the entire cap. It's not like they're going to come off or anything. And obviously with the heat of the engine bay, it's going to warm up the double-sided tape, so it's going to really get a good hold on there. And you know, I won't have any issues of it coming off. So now that we got that done, really simple, I want to do one more thing tonight in this video, and that is actually install the keyhole delete. So if you look on the driver door, there is a keyhole right here, and what a lot of people do is actually install this, so it's going to look like every other door. I think it just looks cleaner. No one ever uses the keyhole. I don't imagine myself ever using that, I guess, unless if the battery dies, then I'll be SOL. But I'm not too concerned about it since I leave this car on a battery tender when it is not being used. But yeah, so let's go ahead and install this. It's pretty simple. There's actually a little hole on the side of the door that you go through to remove that one and to install this one. So let's get this knocked out, and then we can wrap the video up. Okay, so the only tool that we need to remove this with is a T25 Torx bit. So we're going to go ahead and open up the door, and you're going to find a little kind of rubber plug here. In the M4, it's a little different. There's a big rubber piece that goes over this, but for the M3, we're simply just going to pop this off like that. And it's going to be really hard, obviously, to show, but there's a T25 in there. So we're just going to take this and angle it in and loosen it. All right, so we got the factory keyhole out. Now, if you look on the back, there's these two plastic tabs. There's one there, flip to the other side, and there's one there. We're just gonna use a small flathead and kind of pry it up, because we're gonna move this whole entire metal piece, the actual cylinder, from the actual keyhole. So all we're gonna do is pry up those little plastic pieces, and the metal piece right here should slide right out. All right, so I pried up the little plastic pieces. I just used two really thin small screwdrivers, kind of pried up underneath, and I was able to remove it like that. Alright, so the one from IND, it does come with this plastic piece already installed, which I'm pretty sure you can actually just install this without having to do the whole keyhole thing, but every video that I've ever seen and all the write-ups, I've seen people actually install this. So I'm just going to do it that way, because the main reason, if I ever get locked out of the car, I could always just break this off, and then I have access to the key. Whereas if I left this plastic piece on, there's no keyhole. So I'm going to remove that and replace it with the factory keyhole, so it should pop right in, no problem. Like that. So now we got the factory piece in, and now if I ever needed to gain access to the keyhole, I have that there. So you can use this if you want, but I think this is a better method. And just for clarification, this is the factory one. Look at the paint match. This is IND. Look at the paint match. It is literally dead on, exact. So very, very happy overall. Obviously they have some fingerprints on there, but it is dead on. All right, let's get this installed. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna slide this right back into the same hole, then tighten it down. All right, so as I was tightening it down, I realized this is not a T25. If you can kind of see, there you go, it's actually a 4mm Allen. So it worked when I loosened it, but if you want to tighten it down properly, definitely use a 4mm, because the T25 will just spin and you'll have some problems. So that is all done and installed. But now we can take the little plug, pop that back in like that, and we are done. All right, so complete, very, very easy. Just a 4mm. Mine's a 2018, so I don't know if they changed over the actual little screw inside, but it is not a T25. It is a 4mm, and I was able to get that job done, no problem. And I got the keyhole behind there, so if I ever run into a problem, I can always just break this off, and I got access. Again, use this at your own discretion. If you're nervous about your battery dying, or you live in a really cold environment and you're afraid of the door locks locking or something like that, or freezing I should say, you know, then maybe I won't recommend it. But this is a weekend car for me, so I'm not too worried about that. And the car always stays on a battery tender. So again, use at your own discretion. To me, it looks way cleaner, and it doesn't date this car, because any car that I see with a keyhole just always looks so funky to me, and kind of makes it look a little bit older. So got that knocked out. Thanks again to IND. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up this video of the Goldenwrench Supply cap set, as well as the IND keyhole delete, the paint matched one. Love that. I think it looks way cleaner. I also wanted to mention and thank you guys for reaching out to me to let me know about the hidden 12 volts underneath the passenger footwell, underneath the glove box. And when I installed the Redline MagSafe phone mount over here, I initially had it ran into the center console right here, or this little cubby. There's a 12 volt right there, and I couldn't close it because of the actual little adapter. But people reached out and told me there's actually a 12 volt underneath there. So I rerouted everything. I fished it through the console, the dash there, and I barred the wire out through the footwell in the passenger side. So it's nice and hidden, looks way cleaner, and I'm able to use that little cover for the little area right there. So much happier with that. I think it looks way cleaner. So huge shout out to you guys for letting me know. Also, yes, I do plan on changing out the charge cooler. Most likely I'm leaning towards doing a CSF. I really like the color options that they provide. You can get pretty much anything you want, and I'm pretty sold on a certain color scheme that I would like, but we will see. I've heard a few other brands that are really good as well, so I'm not really 100% sure yet. I'll eventually get to it. The charge pipes, I did get the Venturi ones. They're actually in that box over there, the IND box. I got the gloss ones from IND, so it's going to match and look way more beautiful than these ugly plastic ones. I also got the Muscle Man oil thermostat, which is right there. And we're going to be doing a few other things here and there to make this engine bay look and perform better in the near future. So stay tuned for all of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun doing it. Wasn't too strenuous and didn't take a lot of time. I love these little detail mods. Sometimes it's nice just to do these little things and not get so involved and have to get dirty and lay on the ground and everything. It's nice to take a little break and do some details around the car to make it that much nicer. So if you guys have any questions at all about the cap set, the keyhole delete, or anything else on the M3, please let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.